Well, hello, everybody. Let's talk about it. Let's have this conversation. I want to talk about something. Don't mind the noise behind me because people going to be people. They going to do what they want to do. Some people gang stalk you, but who cares? Life goes on. I don't worry about people. I worry about young people making it. I want us to be able to teach. I was, when I was coming up and I had kids, let entertainment purposes only, I forgot, to worry about them, what they see and what they don't see. Sometimes kids get affected by that, the life that you lived, and the only thing you can do is apologize for making your mistakes. But really, let me tell you something. Ain't no mother, I don't give a damn who you are, a mama gonna be perfect. Or your daddy. Some of them ain't perfect, man. And they lived a life and they tried to make you a good life, but sometimes it was hard, the choices they had to go with. Because some people made bad choices, I'm telling you. They made some choices that almost cost them their life. And some of them did. They, allegedly, made, they got into them contracts, soul to soul, and you stuck in the middle. But when you find out that you was the prize all along, it gonna hurt you. But you go on and you live on. Don't let what happened to you in the past and what somebody's tried to do to you, look at you. You're still living. You're still breathing. You're still out here talking, and you're still out here rising up the vibration because you're being true to yourself. My past don't define me. And sometimes young people will put you in a position like to make you want to sell it all for nothing. Like your soul wasn't nothing and you was already born royalty. Some of you were born already royalty. You had a calling. And some of your calling is you had to come here and break generational curses. You had to go through, I was in some bad situations, and I came in here and tried to clean up some things, but people didn't know I come here also, to give you an opportunity. You change, you deal with what you got to deal with. Because me, I ain't trying to go out like that, I like letting you get a chance. I talk to Most High and I try to talk for you, but, sometimes people, they think they can play me. And I'm not stupid. I never was stupid. But they thought I was, allegedly. Trigger warning. See, they look at my profile. She's got to have some problems. She got to have some issues. And I never did. You didn't have issues, but people wanted you to have issues. You get what I'm saying? And you didn't have no issues. You kept going. You kept your head up. You kept rising the vibration, You got to live up to your name. Because it's hard, Everybody want to destroy, they want everything to be perfect. You're not perfect. You're not. We all ain't perfect. I wasn't perfect, But I noticed the trick. See, I always could, it's like I knew when somebody was trying to get me in trouble. It's kind of weird, but I fall into trouble and my angels get me out of it, But I'm just telling y'all, don't live with anger. And don't let the past rule you because, man, it's so much to do out here. We got a lot of cleanup, First of all, we need to learn how to clean our system up, Clean the world up, clean. But see, people don't understand. You build things to help people. You don't build things to test on people, be them a test subject. Allegedly to take purpose on. We ain't no test subjects. They got MK Ultra. They got all that they had me in, They knew I had gifts since I was a child, They know I can shoot. But they try to put them dormant, and I'm just telling y'all, live up to y'all name. Don't be afraid. Because what's out here, it looks scary, but fear was put in you when you was born. You really wasn't born with it. They actually put the gene in us so we be fear, allegedly, entertainment purposes. A lot of things you don't know. Some of you been tracked since you was birthed, That I'm not trying to start none allegedly, but we had devices put in us. They knew where we was at every time you do some dirt. That's why I be telling people, you're being watched anyway. So, entertainment purpose, allegedly, you're being watched. So I don't know how you would thought that nobody was watching you. You're being watched, It's like entertainment. The Hunger Games. Who gonna survive and who gonna go? But the one that's going to survive is going to use their common sense and their instincts. Don't be rolling and getting in stuff that you can't deal with, being part of some stupid stuff. Everybody wants you to go down the wrong path, always promising your shit never come through. Some people are, they just they blockers. They here to block you from going to the next phase, getting the love, getting the things that you need. And all they do is give you, always got something bad to say. You'll know when they do it because they always talking about bad stuff. They always want to put you in a bad mood. It's just to steal your energy. And sometimes you give energy, you got to call it back because they try to steal it to you from you. And they do it with SEX, everything, y'all legend. I'm just telling you, young people, be smart, Don't let nothing destroy you. Don't thinking can destroy you. It's your thinking and how you feel about life, how you move, how do you do? What are you doing to save yourself? What are you being safe, or are you just being, I'm just going to do it anyway because I'm not looking at what I got. I'm not looking at the blessings that I got. I'm not looking at, hey, my life, I got a small house, I may have a small apartment, I got enough to walk around in, or I may just be outside with a tent. But I'm content because I'm learning a lesson. And I got to break a curse or I got to do something. I'm the only one going to break it. That means stand on business. Stop standing on that, well, I got to do it for other people and other people depend on me. Them the people, if they telling you wrong, then how you can depend on somebody that told you wrong and lied to you? You can't depend on people like that. You got to stop letting people block you and tell you all these dreams and shit. And they just lying. They be lying. You want the truth. But sometimes we get the truth. We don't like it. We're scared of it. Young people and older people, especially older people. I just want to tell y'all, don't never think you're done just because you're old. Older people got knowledge. You hear with the knowledge. You hear, some of you don't know. We got to stop living in the past. That's what's keeping us blocked. We live in all the old ways and thinking, like kids, you wasn't supposed to talk about SEX. You wasn't supposed to talk about nothing. But guess what? Your kids going to learn it. And they're going to learn it from somebody, and you might not like how they learned it. And some people, they was messing incest. They mess with their own family members, allegedly, trigger warning. But some people do that for tradition. But where I come from, you don't need to be having a baby with your aunt, your cousin, your this and that. What are you thinking? And then you got to look at that baby because, man, my baby going to ask me where I'm from. I got the same family, but I ain't got a different family. I got the same ones. You still in the same ones. You just having a baby by something, in the family, alleged intent purpose only. Just be smart, people. And don't be laying with your cousin or your this and that. And you think nothing's wrong with it because some of you fall in love with your cousins. Or, I know I had a cousin who was trying to be a kissing cousin to me. But I said, hell no, bro. I'm not going up there laying with you. I had more sense I didn't feel comfortable with that. Because I knew I got to face a higher power. They would always stop me like, you ain't meant to be sleeping with your own family members. Then some of your uncles, they all did it, tried to do it. But you the one put a stop to it because you didn't agree to it. I tell everything. See, one thing about me, I will tell on your ass. I've been that way since I was a kid. I go, Grandma, I went and told Grandma, I take whatever. That's just where I was. I don't take, I'm not ashamed of my past. Some people are ashamed. You tell them they going to be hiding like these celebrities. They over there looking silly. They just allegedly to take purpose. They looking like sad because you can't face your own problems in your past. If you can't face it, why did you do it? That's why I be telling people, fame and fortune comes with a stupidity cost. I'm not doing nothing dumb that you gonna hold against me when I get up there and then you gonna take everything from me because I'm afraid and I'm embarrassed. It's called all the humiliation rituals. Go sit down somewhere. Like, share, subscribe. I'll be back.